Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am wearing AirPods. How's it going, guys? I know it has been a minute, and as you can hear from the echo, I just moved into a new apartment, so please excuse the woo, woo. So today I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about stress-induced eczema, and I'm gonna give you 5 tips for releasing stress, dealing with this whole situation so that you can heal faster. That, of course, is our whole goal. So, who usually has stress eczema? If you have topical steroid withdrawal, which basically means that you have been using topical steroids or oral steroids and your body has reacted once you stop taking them, almost all of you will have stress eczema. Another sign is if you flare if you're a woman, when you flare before your period. So a lot of people actually DM me being like, hey, I just flared. Is it normal to flare right before your period? Yes, if you have stress-induced eczema, and if you wake up and start itching. So you're sleeping, you wake up and you have that intense itch. It is because your hormones will actually raise. So your cortisol, your stress hormone, raises in the morning to actually wake you up. So if you're someone that experiences those symptoms, it's likely you have stress-induced eczema. There's actually a whole personality of people who usually have stress-induced eczema. It is an entire personality, and I've tested it. I have posted little polls on my Instagram story and asked you guys certain things about your personality. So the first is you're either an only child like me, or you are one of the older children in your family. That's first characteristic. Another characteristic is you're very independent. You have your own back, you do what you need to do, you can take care of yourself perfectly fine. Another symptom, or another personality trait, is that you're a very, very caring person. You love taking care of other people, you love other people, you will take on their emotions. You feel guilty if you make anybody feel bad at all in the slightest. Another personality trait is usually you've had some sort of trauma in your past. This isn't necessarily all people, but if you've had trauma in your past, it's likely that you end up with stress-induced eczema. So when I say stress, I'm not referring to, oh, every day I wake up and I'm super stressed out because I have a billion things on my plate. It's not that type of stress. It's actually chronic stress. So what exactly is chronic stress and how is it different from stress? In my own words, the way I would describe it is it's the reactions that you have to everyday tasks that you're putting your body into fight or flight mode. So you may not feel extreme anxiety all the time, but you may have these feelings that you don't even recognize. And it's actually pretty hard to recognize these feelings. And I'm gonna teach you those techniques of how to get to a place where you can recognize those feelings. But let's say you're doing dishes and you have a sense of urgency, and so you rush through the dishes, or you're rushing when you take a shower, or you have a bad tendency to multitask almost all the time, as if you're never ever able to get, you often feel like you're not doing enough, and rest is often not a priority for people like us. And this is chronic stress. So when your friend calls you and you automatically have this bad feeling that oh no, something bad is gonna happen, that fear and those feelings are all little things that are putting your body into fight or flight mode. And you don't realize it, but the majority of your day could be spent in fight or flight mode. You're moving from activity to activity to activity, and you're not actually prioritizing rest, which is leading you to eczema. So, releasing stress is the key to feeling healthy and vibrant. The very first tip that I have for you guys is an amazing app called Simple Habit. And Simple Habit is a meditation app, and you can actually use it completely free. You don't have to buy into their subscription. You can get on, look for little meditations. They have like different categories. So I really liked one that was kind of centered around the whole situation happening right now with the world, with the virus. It was able to teach you that it's a meditation all about your body is actually healing itself. So it goes through and says something like, all of your white blood cells are working to heal your body. So you can use this meditation app every single day, and it actually trains you to use it, which is why it's called Simple Habit. And it wants you to get on every day for 7 days. And it has like a little progress bar, and you do a different meditation for 7 days. And then after that, you're able to find those different meditations and find ones that work for you. They can be specific to being happy or reaching goals or being specific to really anything. So you have to find what you like using that app. The second method that I have for you guys is doing a body scan. This is going to be a really weird concept if you've never done this before, but you can do this through meditation. In fact, Simple Habit will actually take you through a body scan on like the 3rd day, but you don't have to necessarily do it through meditation, but you can do it on your own, and you can do it and should do it every single day. And it's basically taking the time to be alone with yourself to check in with how your body is feeling. What feelings are you feeling? Where in your body are you holding any tension? Where in your body is there anywhere that just doesn't feel that good? So strangely enough, I ended up finding basically what you do is like you'll mentally scan down your body, thinking about how you're feeling in each part of your body. And a lot of times emotions will be held in different parts of your body. So for some reason I ended up finding fear located in like my collarbone. The only reason I knew that is because I could feel tension there, and when it's like you can almost understand what that area is telling you, which I know sounds super weird, but for some reason I knew it was fear that I was holding there. A lot of people will hold like anger in their chest or fear in their gut. There's lots of different feelings that you feel, and just because you're suppressing them doesn't mean you're not having them. So every situation you go through, you feel emotions. That's kind of how humans work. If you're not outwardly expressing them, they're still there, they're just very deep inside. So what I like to do is actually do my meditation I do daily is a body scan meditation. So I'll just sit on the couch quietly and breathe. And actually I find that breathing helps me find these emotions. So I'll breathe in and out, and through that mechanism I get like this sense of clarity in a way where I'm finally paying attention to my body instead of paying attention to my thoughts. Going right along with all of that is number 3, which is taking time to reflect. We will buzz through our days, just going fast and faster and faster and faster and multitasking, and we never take the time to actually sit with ourselves and reflect on what has happened. So maybe you hung out with people that weren't the best people, but you're suppressing those feelings, and it's time to finally realize and reflect on what had just happened. So I don't always have the best situation like with my family, and so I had went to go see them and some stuff happened and I tried suppressing it, and it made me grouchy and miserable, and I didn't want to be around people, so I knew something was off. And obviously this is how chronic stress develops if I kept suppressing it. So instead I reflected on what happened. I was in fact upset about something that happened, and I let myself just feel that. And it's the way you release your stress is through actually feeling it and experiencing it. All right, so I have a little bonus for you guys. I wanted to teach you how to make something that is pretty much across the board healthy for people with eczema. So one thing you can do to reduce stress is make sure that the inside of your body is optimal, and you can do that through food. There's lots of foods that are actually really healing for eczema, and salmon is one of those. So I love making a salmon. I just get them from Whole Foods. I get a big packet of wild caught salmon, and then I'll put coconut oil down on a pan and then sprinkle garlic, ginger, mustard, black pepper, and sea salt, and bake it in the oven for about 20 minutes. So I think it's actually ready. Let's take a look. Yes. Here we go. Looks like the salmon is nice and ready. And on this one, I put a little bit of green onion and some cilantro. So these look good to go. Brain dumping, brain dumping, brain dumping. So, grab yourself a journal and take everything that is in your head and put it down into paper. And I would recommend either doing this right before you go to bed if you struggle with floating thoughts before sleep, or do it right in the morning. So basically the whole idea is when you have all these jumbled thoughts, your brain's trying to keep up with everything. So I always think about TikTok because everything is going so fast, your brain is kind of like 10 videos behind when you're watching the current one that you're watching. Basically, to keep your brain up to speed, brain dumping, meaning like draw pictures, draw literally anything in your mind, whether it's you're writing lists down of things that are popping into your head, or you're drawing little pictures, or you're scribbling, or you're just writing whatever words literally are at the top of your mind. Put them out onto paper. That way you can focus on what you need to do in a single day instead of trying to remember all of these crazy things that are going on in your brain. For example, let's say like you were thinking about your credit cards, but you need to like go do work and your work has nothing to do with credit cards. If you're able to get all of those thoughts down, you have them technically to reference later. And you can take your brain dumping and refine it later if you want to. But the whole goal is to just free your mind. So whether you're writing a story or you're talking about something that happened the day before, so like diary method, doesn't matter, just start brain dumping. And number 5, which is simplify your life. When you can cut down on all the noise, all the multitasking, all the massive things that are happening in your life and simplify it, narrow it down, you're then able to have clear thoughts, you're able to heal, you're able to take time for yourself because you usually will remember to take time for yourself. So some really good things you can do: keep your space clean, which don't let that cause you more stress. Do it a little bit at a time. Tidy up your counters. The less things that your brain has to see, the easier your whole life becomes. Another idea for simplifying your life is you'll have a to-do list at the beginning of the day, and this is similar to brain dumping, except you're literally making a list. Except you're gonna order the list: want to do, need to do, and backlog, meaning like you don't want to or need to do it, it's just something that's in your head. And take the have to do and do those. Because a lot of times we'll sit there and do the want to do's and we think it's a priority, but in reality, when you realize that it's not actually a priority, I actually have a really good example. So I set up my page with backlog, want to, and have to. And I'll go through and cross off my have to's and realize that my want to's I don't have to do. And so sometimes it can be completely overwhelming to have to do all these things. So when you simplify and realize there's actually a very small amount of things that you have to do in a single day, and then you take the rest of your time and you relax. And then when you're done relaxing, you can do the things that you want to do. All Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I wanted to let you know that I actually just created a offer for you guys. I know a lot of you want to join my coaching program, but it is a little bit out of what you can afford. Well, I created something just for you. It's called Empowered Eczema Self-Guided. There's actually no coaching by me, but there is a PDF where I wrote out most of the things that I say during my program. So there's a PDF that guides you through 6 chapters of the Empowered Eczema ebook, which is what I use to actually coach my program with. And I also included the 6-month plan, which is another ebook to use to actually plan out how you're gonna heal over the next 6 months. So this is the Empowered Eczema Self-Guided, and if you're interested, I'm going to link it in the description down below. Basically, it's the same value as my coaching program. It's just you're not getting the one-on-one attention from me. So if you're somebody that's like a little bit farther along in your healing journey and you really just need a meal plan, grocery list, supplements to take, it's basically a workbook, and you'll have little assignments, you'll have videos to watch, and it's pretty freaking awesome. So check that out in the link down below in the description box. All right guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Crashing waves, I wanna see